when you get up from the bed of fornication, do you feel sweet? Do you feel cute? Because so the second part of this video, just last week I felt like I wanted to do a Q&A, so I asked people on following me on my Instagram to send me questions that they wanted to ask me for a question and answer video that I wanted to film on my YouTube. I also put it on my WhatsApp, but I got really few questions. But the questions that I got, I feel like they're important. I think that I still owe it to answer these questions, and that's what I'm going to do now. So stick around. All right, guys. So the very first question that I have here, I wrote it in this paper. The very first question I have here is, how does one manage the sexual aspect of one's relationship? That was the very first question I got here, and it made me smile because I remember my very first YouTube video. I'm going to link it somewhere here. I was asked a question in this regard, and I answered it, and I'm still going to answer it again. I think first and foremost, you need to understand why it is that God desires that you're sexually pure in your relationship, to be very honest. And it doesn't matter if you have been active before, it doesn't matter what your past is like. I don't think that God is a killjoy, as many people feel. Sometimes people even ask, why did God now give us sexual urges if he did not want us to act on them? Because it wants you to grow. It wants you to grow up to the point where you have self-control. One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. God, the all-knowing God, the God that does not make mistakes, is asking us to honor him with our bodies. I mean, these things are clear. Like, let me know, when you get up from the bed of fornication, do you feel, I'm talking to believers here, do you feel sweet? Do you feel cute? Because if you do something wrong as a believer, if you do something like, every other person might be doing it, but then when you as a believer decides to do something, the Holy Spirit will speak to you. It will tell you, oh my, this thing you just did not make sense. Do you understand? Go and make amends, go and repent, and all of that. So to really go back to the question, how do you manage the sexual aspect of your relationship? I think the first things first is to understand why God would have you be sexually pure in your relationship. I think that that's important. The second way I think that you can manage it is to be with someone with whom you're on the same page. So if you're trying to be sexually pure in your relationship, your partner has to be on the same page with you, because you can't be trying to build a house and the other person is trying to tear it down. Like, both of you have to be in agreement, in unity. Number 3 is put systems in place. A system that you can put in place is to ensure that you people don't find yourself in compromising situations or compromising environments. How will I put it? You and this person are already attracted to each other in every way possible, and then that's when you know that in the night, 9 p.m, you will go and bathe in the person's bathroom, right? And carry your body and sleep on the same bed with the person overnight. You know how long the night is?
Sounds like a scam.
And then you now say that things would not happen. I feel like you're just putting yourself in, that's not a good position to put yourself. It's a different thing if you guys have grown to the level where you're a rock. I don't think anybody's a rock, to be very honest. But just try and not find yourselves in compromising situations. It's really as easy as that. Another system you can put in place is you guys can get like materials. You can get sermons that would help you on your sexual purity journey. I would highly recommend subscribing to Pastor Mildred and Pastor Kingsley Okonkwo's YouTube channel. I think that they are both phenomenal, and husband and wife, they're doing great, and they're going to help you. You will see reason why you should actually be sexually pure. That's one system you can put in place. Another system is having godly friends. When you're in an environment where your friends that are dating as well are also sexually pure, it gingers you to be sexually pure. So surrounding yourself with people who are sharing the same beliefs as you, or people who are already practicing what you want to practice, is definitely going to help you a great deal. Those are some of the things that I know that you can do to manage the sexual aspect of your relationship. Unlike what most people think that it is not doable. I assure you it is very doable. There's nothing that you put your mind to do that you will not do do with the help of God. Everything is possible with God. It just requires discipline. It requires a lot of discipline. It requires self-control. It requires honesty and transparency. Yes, you're going to be tempted, but you don't always have to act on that temptation. Do you get what I mean? Your flesh should not be controlling you. Like, you have to have control over your flesh, because left to your flesh, if you're going to fulfill all of your flesh desires, you will end up in the bin. Another question I got here is, what can I do to make you my spiritual mom? See, when I saw this question, I'm like, hey, anything? Hey, I'm like, wow. So the thing is, I have a Bible study group. I've probably mentioned it like 1 billion times on this channel already. We're called the Seekers of His Kingdom, and they call me Mama on that group. I've told them that I don't understand why they call me Mama. I don't think I'm an old woman yet. I'm still in my 20s, and they keep calling me Mama and Mommy and all of that. And I think that's what gingered this person, because this person is actually my Bible study group, to ask me what she can do. It's actually a lady, to make me her spiritual mom. I think I honestly, I see it as a burden. I'm not going to lie. Do I feel responsible for people in my Bible study group? 100%, absolutely. Not a day passes where I don't think about them, where I don't pray for them, where I don't think of ways that I can serve them better. I think that spiritual mom is a burden that I do not want to take on yet, because I don't feel like I am at that level yet, to be very honest. I myself am still growing, I'm still learning, I'm still under tutorship. I'm still learning every day. I'm still amazingly flawed, and I still have a long way to go. I don't think that I'm at that place where anyone can refer to me as a spiritual mom. You can be inspired by some of the things that I do, but to now want me to like be a spiritual, because basically that's like the work of a pastor. That's like the work of someone who would, it's not an easy thing to be a pastor. And I think that if people understood what it entails, I'm trying to remember which of the apostles now talked about it. It's either Apostle Peter or Apostle Paul that talked about what it really entails to be a pastor. How how you care for a child, how you tend to your sheep. You're very into the welfare of your sheep and all of that, and you're there for them in every way possible. I think that there is a level of growth that one is meant to attain before one can assume such a responsibility. And I think that there's a grace to even walk in those shoes. So I don't think that I'm at that. I mean, I'm flattered that you would ask me, but I really don't think that I'm at that space where I can be a spiritual mom yet. But can I pray for you? Absolutely. Can I pray with you? Perfect. Can I ginger you? Can I be sending you materials? Can we be doing Bible study together? Can we read stuff together? Can we grow together? Can we listen to sermons and talk about them? Can you ask me questions and I'll try to answer them? Perfect. I can be there for you in that way, but I just feel like spiritual mom is a very big word. Yeah. But thank you. What would you say has been the most eye-opening point in your 20s? I really love this question. Amaka asked me this question. To be very honest, I think that more than anything, my 20s have shown me just how, what's the right word? Just how flawed I am. It has shown me just how much more knowledge I need. My 20s they've really humbled me. There is a way that I thought of myself. I wouldn't say that I was really honest with myself like when I was a teenager, but then going into my 20s and having certain experiences, it has just brought it to my awareness, like full face, like you're flawed. You have a lot of adjustments to make. You have a lot of wrong mindset that you need to change. you have a lot of knowledge there's a lot of things that you do not know. There's a lot of things that you need to seek. So it was an eye-opening point for me, like, oh wow, like I thought I was actually all that, but there's a whole lot to the world and God's kingdom that I don't even know about. And that's why I'm very passionate about growth. I'm very passionate about knowledge. Just for me to really know myself, which I think is a miracle, because I think that more than anything, my 20s have given me the permission to actually know myself. Like, to an extent, there's a self-awareness that I have, and being honest with myself has shown me how, there's weaknesses, a lot of things that you have to do, and that has been the most eye-opening point for me. I talk too much. I should move on to the next question. So this person says, could you please share a system that works to overcome inconsistency? I am afraid to fully walk in my purpose because I know I struggle with inconsistency. I think what has helped me, I try to do things that I am passionate about. When I wanted to start YouTube, I didn't just want to do YouTube because I wanted to make money, although that's part of the plan. Really started YouTube because I loved to talk. I was very comfortable with, myself, with recording videos. I was convinced that this is something that I really, really want to do. And I feel like that's the first thing, to be honest, because I think that many people are not consistent in some of the things that they do because they do not really, really, really want to do that thing, if that makes sense. So I think that the first step is to do things that you're passionate about. Don't just do things because people think that that's what you're supposed to do. Ask yourself, do I really want to do this? Because even if you start a business that you don't feel convinced that you want to do, you're not passionate about it, you will get to some points and then you'll be inconsistent. Because the truth of the matter is, no matter what it is that you want to do in life, you're going to meet challenges. It's not going to be a smooth ride. When I wanted to start YouTube, I did not know that editing takes hours. I didn't know that sometimes to upload now, war. I remember calling some people and saying, is this how it is? To upload a video sometimes on YouTube will take, I don't know, the network would just go, it would just be a total mess. And if I wasn't really interested in it, because it's not like I'm getting paid as at now, if I wasn't really passionate about it, I would have just quit. Like, I would have packed my bags, like, I beg, I cannot come and kill myself. And that's where inconsistency comes from. But because it's something that I'm really passionate about, we die here, basically. Like, we are going to see this thing through. Same thing with my Bible study group and some of the things that I'm involved in. Because I am passionate about it, I am consistent with it. So I think that that's the first thing. I'm really trying my best to answer this question to the best of my ability, because I could sense that it's something that you've struggled with. You even said that you're afraid and you're not fully able to walk in your purpose. First of all, that fear, just get it out of the way. And one easy way to get the fear out of the way is to confess the word of God. What the word says about you, that you can do anything through Christ. Keep saying that again and again till you yourself really believe it, because fear would literally limit you. But another system that I think might work for you to overcome your inconsistency is for you to surround yourself with people who are consistent, especially in the things that you want to do. Like, we don't even know the power of having a family, I wanted to say support group, but just having a family of people that want to do that thing that you really want to do. It really, really, really goes a long way. If you want to change your prayer life, if you're not happy about your prayer life, change your circle. Go and meet people who are firebranded and start with praying with them. And I tell you, that fire would light up inside of you faster than it could have done if you were all by yourself. Try and make sure that you're not always hanging out with people who are inconsistent, because they would stop them to tell you, do this, what's your problem, make sure you do this. They would always be telling you things that, I bet you cannot go and kill yourself. And the truth of the matter is, yes, we don't want to kill ourselves, but consistency is something that is very, very vital for success if you are consistent at something. So surround yourself with people who are consistent in the thing that you want to be consistent in, and it will help you. Another point that is tied to that is try and be accountable to someone. Try and be accountable to someone who would actually, sit you down and tell you, why are you not doing the thing that you said you're going to do? Okay, give me a plan. This is what you want to do. Why have you not done this? You know, if it has to be someone older, if it's a mentor, you can just, you know, do your best to get one. Another thing that would help is plan out your day. Plan out your, I would have said plan out your month, but that might be a stretch. But just plan out your day and try not to overload yourself with too many things. It's important when you write things down, or most times I write it on my phone, the notes on my phone, because it helps me to, okay, this is what I was supposed to do for today, and how did I fare today? And when you don't meet up with your target, don't be too, I beg, I cannot kill myself. Except something really came up that was urgent, that stopped you from doing that, you should actually be hard on yourself. Like, why did you not do the thing that you said you were going to do? And the next day, get on that thing. That's the end of the questions that I got. I hope that you guys enjoyed this part of the video. Please let me know the kind of videos that you want to see on my YouTube channel. Let me know if you don't mind this location, if you prefer the formal one, or you want me to shoot here. If you have more questions for me, you can leave them in the comment section and I will answer them in another video. I love you guys so much. Bye guys.